Hey, how's it going, guys? It's the Jeckening back from a disastrous German test and back for another video. So today I kind of want to do a overall guide, I guess beginner's guide to Crossing Void. So I've seen a lot of people on the Reddit and other social media websites. They're kind of confused about how to start, how the game kind of works, and it's very true that I feel like this game is kind of unique. And it can be very confusing if you're a beginner. And it also can seem very lackluster, regardless of if you're a beginner or not. And I am kind of confused as to why new people are kind of joining the game, because well, I mean, then again, I'm not really confused, but the game seems like it's really. I've been saying this for months now, that it's not really improving or adding anything new that's making anyone want to play. You can see I've got like 2 MyGo, which is the game's currency. I've had 2 MyGo for like months now because I just haven't played the game. So yeah, I kind of want to go through the systems. So the things on the right, you see here the menu, and then I'll go through the kind of things on the left real quick. And then I'll talk about characters, equipment, and what you want to do as a beginner, what you want to focus on, and then where you go from there. So first of all, I think it's important we talk about the gacha, right? Because it's a gacha game, the gacha aspect is very important. So you have a few ways of summoning. You have MyGo, which is kind of... So there's free MyGo and then there's paid MyGo. You'll mostly be having free MyGo, and it's actually kind of difficult to get once you start off. Now, obviously, they'll give you loads of like MyGo to start off. For like, you'll have like weekly missions for when you first start. After that, you kind of really, once you hit like level 30, you're kind of having trouble getting MyGo. But what you do get instead are what's called summon tickets. And you'll see up here at the, like where I'm tapping, I have 0 blue tickets. So there are 3 kinds of tickets, much like there are 4 kinds of banners. So blue tickets are used for normal character pools. So for example, this banner, which is just a general character pool, where you have every single non-limited character. Let me go back. Then you have a boosted character pool, which basically drops the rate of a specific character you want. So obviously, the blue tickets are used for these 2 banners. Then you have what's called limited banners, which will be this thing in the middle. They're basically the equivalent of event exclusive characters. So, for example, if you play like like Dragon Ball Legends or Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, or even if you play any kind of game where it has like a special event where you can only get special characters on special banners, like so limited characters are the equivalent of like LRs or Legends Limited, or characters like that. And for those banners you use yellow tickets, and then you have what's called wish banners, which basically you can create the roster that you want on like the pool, although you do have to pick a certain amount of characters. So sometimes it's good if you're missing a specific limited character, because sometimes you can include limited characters on these banners. It's very good for you to be able to get them. So what's cool about this gacha system, I guess you could say it's cool, right? Once you're in the end game, like say for example, if you're like level 60, which is kind of, I guess, once you hit level 60, you unlock everything, and it's kind of the end game. Because by then you probably would have been able to finish story and everything. So you can build up so much MyGo that you can basically guarantee yourself every single new character that comes out, at least every single new limited. So how this works, right, is you see there's a probability S. So as I summon, you'll see, for example, the Miyuki is the featured character, and as I summon, her S rate will go up. So say, for example, if I do like 3 multis and I don't get her, I'll have like a 2% chance of getting her. But here's the thing, right? So you'll see there's rarity, right? There's green, there's blue, there's purple, there's gold. This rarity is universal, so it's the same for equipment, it's the same for characters, it's the same for I think it's just those two things. But basically, after 45 summons, I am guaranteed to get an A variant of characters. And you are able to upgrade characters. It's just that it takes a lot of effort, but I'll talk about that later. So, basically, if you do like 45 summons, you don't get the S character, it's fine, you have the A character. You can stop, and your S probability will stay high for the next banner. So the probability, it's not universal, but it only stays for the same category of banners. So, for example, you'll see that the normal one I have 2.88 S chance probability, and a boosted one I have 2.63. So, for example, if I were to do like 5 multis, right, on this banner, I didn't get an S character. The probability will stay up regardless of how long, because this is a banner that's always up, right? For example, if I do like 3 multis on this and I'm at like 4%, once this banner goes away and it comes back, and let's say, for example, Tiger is the featured character, her probability rate will be 4%. So if you're really smart about how you do it, and if you don't really care about maxing out characters, you just, you care about collecting them and having as many cool characters as you can, which is what I do, you can basically guarantee yourself every single new limited character that comes out. Now, obviously, this is a thing that does take time, because if they're re-releasing like characters that you don't have like every 2 weeks, then obviously you're not going to be able to have enough time to farm up to guarantee yourself that character. But for example, in like a period like this, right, if you would have just done, if you do the events that are live and active, you can accumulate you need about 4,500 Margo to guarantee yourself a character. No, sorry, you need 6,000, because you need to do, well, no, you need to do, what do you need? Do you need 6,750? I think is what you need, but then you have tickets, right? But yeah, so that's basically that. So banners are it's a very interesting concept. I do recommend just doing single summons. So you'll see at the bottom right, it just says an A character is guaranteed after 10 summons. So you can just do single summons, right? There's really no point, because from what from my personal experience, raising it up one by one is a lot better than doing it in one go and then having it like increase in one go. It's kind of hard to explain, but you have to take my word for it. So here you have impression, which is basically where you summon for weapons, which are kind of like support characters for your characters, but aren't actually support characters. It's basically like an extra bit of equipment that gives your characters special buffs, and they're a lot harder to acquire than typical equipment, but they're very good. Here's exchange. So as you summon, you'll collect these blue light tickets, and you can exchange them for either an S character or an SQ. And it's the same thing for weapons, right? Kind of easy to understand, I think. And then you have fragment, which basically, if you have too many fragments for a character, you can exchange them in order to get, I think you get a character. I think that's the case. I think you just get a brand new, or a character. It won't be limited characters. I've never had a limited an S character from this. Sorry. I don't know if it even goes up to A, but it might. But I'm not exactly sure. So I guess now I can talk about social. Really easy to understand. You have friends, and then you have guild. I don't think I'm part of the guild right now. I think I got kicked out of my old one because I just stopped playing. Basically, in guilds, you can like ask other people to give you fragments for a character, which you'll get every weekend. And you can take on a raid boss, which will give you a lot of currency, so you can get all the gems to awaken your characters very fast, so you don't really have to grind for gems. So yeah, you can kind of see this is where I've just done daily singles without actually playing. Let me go back. Okay, so let me explain how characters work. Let me go to Tiger, because I think everyone loves Tiger, right? So you'll kind of see there's a lot of things going on here, right? So you have stars, you got levels, you got weapon, you got skill, you got talent, equipment, elementium, and awakening, and then you have cross hue and all that. So I'll go through all of that. So the stars. This is a very important thing. Stars are basically skill caps. Or like caps for your skills, right? So you see mine is max 25. If I go to a character that I haven't built up whatsoever, for example, let's go with Uiharu, right? She's only 1 star, and I can only bring her skills. She's only has level 1, but if I have her 2nd star active, she can go up to level 5, and then 10, and then 15, and then 20, and then 25. So you get the idea. So stars are very important. They also increase your stats here as they go up. Like, just for example, see, that was 205. It was really low before. Now it's 205. If I get another star, she'll go up all the way to 593. But she needs to be level 20. So you need to... first thing you do is you just increase the level. And there is a specific event to get like XP and all that, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. So yeah, you have level and then star. So you want to priority is level, star, and then skill. Well, basically everything's important, right? But you just want to do level and stars first. Then you have the talents, which are basically I guess they're extra stats, but they're very, very important. So so you kind of shuffle. So it's kind of like a gacha. So it's kind of like I don't know. I'm guessing maybe if you guys ever played like Genshin Impact, and you kind of like roll for equipment that have like stats and all that. You know, some equipment will. I think that's how it works. I'm not too sure, but so you kind of roll. You see you get Ardor, Fortitude, and as the level goes up, the rarity will go up. And this process is actually how you upgrade your characters. So say for example you have a green character, you give them like, I don't know, like an extra 30 points in talent, and they'll go up to blue rarity. And then the blue rarity character, if you get them to like 200 talent or something in that realm, it's very RNG based. You'll get them to a purple character, and then purple to gold, right? Although it's a very, very hard thing to get a purple from gold. I've watched some videos of people spending like 2,000 fragments and not getting a character to go gold, and they'd have like a talent level of like 300. I think the max is 400. By the way, so you can have like 100 on one. On each, and once they're gold, they unlock a 4th additional one. So for main characters, so I haven't explained that yet. In a team, you have 2 kinds of characters. You have a main character, which is the character that you're going to see most of the time, which is the character on the right of these 2 slots, and then you have a support character. So support characters have like they're really there for effects and for like cross skills. And also they're just a way for you to add extra equipment and stats, really. They will do their attacks, but you won't see them most of the time. Unless you use their skills, right? What was I saying? So, main characters have what you call like exclusive talents, which are basically exclusive skills that you can only get in their talents, and they depending on what they can, you know, they have like special effects and all that depending on what they can do. For example, Asuna, she increases the damage of enemies, the damage that enemies take, which is like an absolutely absurd effect. And the higher you raise the level of the talent, the more, the stronger the skill is going to become. What can I talk about next? So equipment. So you'll first start off with equipment with, as a beginner, you'll start off with green equipment, and you can only get it up to level 4. Then you'll have blue equipment that can go up to level 8. Then you'll have purple equipment that can go up to level 16, I think. And then you'll have gold equipment that can go up to level 20. Equipment are very important. Obviously, when you start off, you just get green and you just max them out. But then eventually, slowly but surely, you'll be getting purple equipment, you'll be getting gold equipment, and that's when you really want to work on them because they're very important. I think the two universal, the best, I guess the best equipment are the poser set and the alternative fashion set, I think. So what the poser does, it increases the damage you do that's inferior or equal to 3 skill points. And alternative fashion is basically 4 or higher. I think it's the same damage. So equipment is very important. Elementium, this is a new thing they added, like, I say not too long ago, but it's been like a few months now. I think it's just really this is a thing for like whales where you just add skills and it asks you to use awakening like stars, which I do not recommend doing. It's such a stupid way to waste them. They're very important things. Hues are basically just skins. That's really doesn't matter. Inherit is basically if you have like a, because you can't disassemble or get rid of an S character yourself, you need to inherit it. So that's what that is. Cross is basically like a special skill that a main character will share with a support character. So obviously this list the list of characters and the things that they do depends on from character to character. Pardon me. So awakening. This is a very important thing in Crossing Void. This is, in my opinion, this is the very whale aspect, right? Only a lot of whales and I guess people with extreme luck will be able to do this. I personally recommend really Awakening 1 is kind of really all you want. But if you really love like us and you want this illustration, just go for it. I really, it's your choice. So Awakening is kind of important. You can awaken characters by 2 ways. So there's these universal soul origin stars, which basically means awakening things for every single character. So every single character can use these, but you need 5, right, to awaken once. And then you have these, the specific character souls. And you'll only get these if you get a dupe of an S character. So, for example, if I were to summon for Kimono Asuna, who is a limited character, and I got an A variant... Oh, why's my screen flipped? Sorry about that. Hang on. Okay. So, let's say I summon for Kimono Asuna, and I got an A variant. While I have an S variant, I will not get an Awakening Soul. Regardless of if I awaken that A Asuna to S, I will still not get that soul. It needs to be an S character that I summoned, and I need to get a dupe of that S character as an S character by summoning it. It's very hard and confusing sentence. I don't think it's even correct, but yeah, it's kind of a complicated process. And then you have weapons, which so some are free, some are you have to like pray to the Gacha lords that you get them. So some do very different things. I'll show you. So there are some weapons for main characters and some for support. And you'll see, you just go through the information of what they do. If you guys have any specific questions on any weapons, which are more optimal, feel free to ask me, or I don't know, just go on Reddit. I'm not really a knowledgeable person on like PvP. I really only do just PvE. So then you have the stats. The really only important stat, I feel like, because most of the other stats is going to be affected by your equipment and your other stuff, is really your speed. Your speed is very important. So your speed determines if your characters, what position, I guess, your character is going to be in like a turn. So example, like typically the Sword Art Online characters are very fast, so they're typically in the start of the fight, which means they have very little access to points, and they also have even less access to climax points. So for example, like main Kirito, he has a skill that does 0 points, and he has a shield after it, and he's typically one of the first characters to actually fight or to start. So you need to be mindful, because sometimes you want to pair up, say, a fast character with fast character to be the first possible, but sometimes you want to pair up a fast character with a really slow character to be able to really benefit from the points. And then you have Psyche, which is an even extra kind of equipment, and this is Psyche damage is a completely different type of damage. In some events, you'll only be able to do Psyche damage, so Psyche is very important. In other events, it's really just like an extra 5,000 damage, which at higher level really isn't that much. And then I've already explained Elementium. I think most of the events are very self-explanatory. I mean, bag, you can just go through all. So you got equipment, obviously you got material, which is kind of just going to be your awakening gems and your gacha tickets and all that. Cost. These are kind of like boxes you can open to get like. This is like, for example, stamina, and then you have S equipment here. I have too many that honestly I kind of lose count and don't really care. Your character fragments, so you increase their talents, then your weapons, then your souls for awakening, and then your psyche. So I guess we can go to challenge now. Psyche Zone, this is a new event. This is what you do to unlock so Psyche fragments, so you can actually buy Psyches. Treasure Hunt, this is the event you go to especially at the start, to grind your level and also to grind EXP and to grind equipment. So it's a very important event. But honestly, once you get to like level, I don't know, once you like get more than like 16 pieces of S equipment, you kind of don't care anymore about this event. Void Expedition, this is I think it's it resets every 3 days. It's kind of an event that you go into and you what do you call it? You get these yellow. I guess it's not showing anymore. You get these kind of yellow coins, which you can use to either buy soul origins for awakenings, or you can buy like gacha tickets, or you can buy fragments, etc. It's actually a very good event, especially if you're a beginner, because I think you can get a free S swimsuit Misaka from this event, and you can awaken her fully, completely. You can also awaken other characters, and I think they increase the amount of characters that can awaken from this event quite. I don't want to say quite regularly, but I don't know, like every 3-4 months. And yeah, you can do it a total of three times in 3 days, I think. So it's kind of a cool event. I don't think you unlock this straight away. I think you need to be like level 16 or something like that. Most of these events that I have will be completely locked. Like Pandemonium, this is literally the best event for farming Mygo, I think. So resets every 3 days. You can get 45 Mygo from the event every single time, guaranteed, regardless of the difficulty. But it only unlocks at level 60. So do keep that in mind. Pinnacle, pretty bare bone event. You beat it once and it's completely done. It's kind of I guess it's an event to gauge your progression and how good your characters are. But once you completely beat the Pinnacle, you never go back to it because you literally can't. I literally can't do anything anymore. And I did this when I was pretty much just starting the game. You can kind of see I've got like loads of A characters. But yeah. Uncharted Void. Kind of I think it's a raid boss kind of event with other people online. Honestly, you really don't use it that much whatsoever. Decrepit Dream is basically a nuking test, and you get really cool rewards for it. So if you can, you must do that. You get like 100 Mygo even if you don't do exactly well. Mirage, so this is the PvP kind of event of the game. So you'll kind of go into it, you'll see kind of like 3 teams you can choose from, you click a team, and then you fight. And that's pretty much it for the events, the important ones at least. There's Golden Storm, which is for money, but you get so much money, and you don't really need that much that you really shouldn't worry. You only do it for daily kind of things. So you'll kind of see how this game works, right? So it's a turn-based game, I guess. You kind of need to choose your attacks. I mean, when you think about it, it's actually kind of really well done. I guess it's kind of smart, right? And you would get these blue points at the start of every turn. And when you use them up, you get yellow points, and the yellow points is for your ultimates. So yeah, that's pretty. The combat is self-explanatory. I think the game does a very good job at telling you what it does, and to be honest, you really just need to look at what your character does. Maybe I'll do a. I think I'll do a secondary video maybe. If you guys want that, if you post in the comments that you want it, I'll do a secondary video explaining the effects and how you really should approach combat. And then you kind of have like these events, right? Which your typical stuff, your daily login. These are just like missions that will last you days. Frag exchange, which is so in story mode you can farm up like fragments of specific characters. When there's this event, you can replace those fragments so you can get the specific fragments you want. Gift for you is basically just a login thing, and it's also a thing that has to do with your affinity with characters, which I'll go to in a minute. This you don't really care about, you're never going to use this. And then treasury is just like, here you can get psyche fragments, which is kind of cool for just accomplishing missions and just playing the game. Oh my gosh, my screen has flipped again. Yeah, so the shop, there's a lot of things in the shop. So there's equipment. So by doing the equipment event, you'll get these like tickets so you can buy the specific equipment you want. Friends, this is just for like picking friends, and you know, you can do like a crappy summon. You can sometimes get like XP items, or you can sometimes even get characters. Encounter, so this is Void Expedition that I was talking about, so you can get this S3 Mystica, you can awaken her, and then you can awaken these characters by one awakening tier, which is pretty cool. Or you can use those same things to buy 2 tickets per week and 20 like universal fragments per week. Crystal, I'm not actually sure where this comes from. I think this is the materials you get from when you summon for like weapons. So I mean, I guess if you have everything maxed out, you can just use this, but otherwise I wouldn't recommend it. This is what you get from being Void Expedition. So you can buy free weapons. So this one's pretty good. This one's pretty good as well. So you can max them out, and that's pretty cool. You get this from Void Expedition as well. These are the materials you use to level up and awaken your weapons. Meanwhile, this is for example, like special features like background stuff, like a background music or background character. If you already have a dupe of, you'll receive these coins instead, and then you can just buy the stuff you don't have. I already have every single one of these, so I don't really care. And I'm not exactly sure what Conqueror is, to be honest. Then you have Journal, which is kind of a cool feature actually, where you can give gifts to your characters, increase their affinity level, and as their affinity level increases, you unlock more quotes and voices, and you get access to covers. Now, you really only have these 2 for normal Tiger, and the rest are kind of like for other variants and other colors of Tiger. Like this one's a special. Sorry, this one's like a special Christmas one, I think. And some are Awakening illustrations, etc. And that's pretty much the case for every single character. They have stuff like that, which is really cool. And then story, obviously, kind of bare bones story. It's basically the main thing you're going to do. But once you beat the story, there's really nothing to do other than farm fragments. So yeah. So that's pretty much Crossing Void. Now, if you're a beginner, you're going to have this thing at the bottom left where it's kind of like a heart, and it's going to... You're going to kind of have missions that you're going to have to want to do, and then you're going to be able to pick a free S character. So you can kind of go like... To be honest, you can really pick whatever character you want. I would recommend... I started off with Miyuki, simply because she could like get rid of characters' buffs. But I would recommend maybe getting Shana, so you can do bleed damage, because at the start of the game, bleed damage is actually quite good. Just in general, bleed damage is quite good. And also Shana's really cool, so, you know. So yeah, I think maybe I'll do another video kind of talking about the, I don't know, the, like, ways of combat of Crossing Void. You can kind of see there's still no goddamn events live. But yeah, I feel like I might have missed out a few things, so if you guys still have some questions, feel free to send me a comment in the comment section, and I'll try to answer. I also haven't mentioned how you actually get talents. So, say for example, I pull an A variant of, I don't know, let's do an A variant of Kirito, right? And I already have an S variant, so he really has no point. What I do is I just go here, and I disassemble all these variants of characters that I don't need. And you can just do it automatically because the game will never get rid of, like, for example, if you only have one A variant of character and you don't have S, they will not get rid of that A variant. And they will only ever get rid of A variants that haven't been leveled up or haven't been touched. Meaning if you have two A variants, one is like max level 60 and the other is just level 1, it will get rid of the level 1 and it won't touch the level 60 whatsoever. So you do that, and then you get all these fragments for all these characters, and then you can spend those fragments to try and increase the rank of said character. So yeah, that's pretty much Crossing Void, right? A lot of systems, quite confusing. I haven't really done a deep dive into the combat yet, but to be honest, it is quite a simple thing, and most of the time you just put it on auto and you'll be fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys still have questions, like I said, feel free to send me a message. I know it's very long, and I'm fairly sure a very confusing video, so I apologize for that. If you guys enjoyed, I guess, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I upload really whenever I want and when I have time, so there's really no defined upload schedule, but I do have fun making these videos. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, watch how you go.